to Unity Minute.
You all know it. It's Karen Drucker. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And so with the message from Ralph, we are all so blessed. Blessed by the presence of Spirit within this group here this morning and online. I recognize every one of these spirit beings here. And I know and recognize in the movement of the planets, in this day, and in everything we are experiencing now and tomorrow with the universe, and even offering a suggestion for a clear, bright day for tomorrow. So with that gratitude and that just blessings from the universe, I call this service good, and I know that whatever is said and sung this morning is exactly what is meant to be said and sung. I offer this up to Spirit in gratitude, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Some of you know that I was a mailman once upon a time, a long time ago. And shortly after I got involved in New Thought teachings in general, Science of Mind in particular, but New Thought in general, I started writing tunes about spiritual things. And I was carrying mail, and I was walking. It was a rainy day, and I was walking under this pine tree, and there was a rose bush. And I thought, well, why not write a song about that? Because one of the things that we do is enjoy life, and so this is called Enjoyment of Life. Smell of the pine trees and roses and rain. Hey, when it's laid out to dry, helps me keep centered and remember once again the enjoyment of being alive. Sunsets and rainbows and the moon on the rise. Clouds making shapes in the skies. These are the gifts that I give to my eyes. The enjoyment of being alive. Feelings of freedom, feelings of peace. Like the moment when love first arrives. Feelings that help me enjoy every day. taste of the strawberries early in spring, honey that's fresh from the hive. These are the favorites my memories bring, the enjoyment of being alive. Laughter of children, waves on shore, songs that your friends harmonize, sounds of the evening outside your back door bring enjoyment of being alive. Feelings of freedom and feelings of peace, like the moment when love first arrives. Feelings that help me enjoy every day, the feelings of being alive. Feelings that help me enjoy every day, the feelings of being alive.
And now,
Well, thank you so much. I'm always grateful. I think every time I've been here, Ralph has done the lead-in songs, and I'm always grateful to be here with this group. It's fun, and I don't know how Reverend Joanne does this like every week. But talking to Paul Millers, where he says, in some ways it's actually easier to do it every week than it does once a quarter. But I don't know. It's certainly a pleasure to be here and to be with everybody online too. So, I'd like to start out going back to June 16th, 1806. And there's people milling around outside. They're glancing up at the sky every now and then. And they're waiting. They're waiting for something that the great Shawnee shaman, called, that we know in English as the prophet, he has predicted that in this part of the country, the sun will go dark, and the entire earth will be covered in total darkness. He's predicted that, and the people of the Shawnee Nation are all waiting. And they're glancing up, and they're watching, and they're waiting. It was a Tuesday. And it happens. The sun disappears, the earth goes into darkness, and the prophet was right. Now, if the story ended here, it'd be fun and it'd be interesting, but the story doesn't end there. Because the prophet had predicted, and I don't know how this happened, but because the prophet had predicted, and maybe he might have enhanced that, maybe he had some cause, he created some cause for this eclipse to happen, but because of the prediction, his reputation in the Shawnee Nation skyrocketed. It even exceeded the reputation and the power of his brother, the true chief of the Shawnees, Tecumseh. So much so that 5 years later, while Tecumseh was away, the prophet decided that was going to be a good time for him to lead the Shawnee warriors against the army of William Henry Harrison near a small river in Indiana called the Tippecanoe. Now, that battle did not end well for the Shawnee Nation, but it changed history forever. Changed history forever. So, we've got an eclipse tomorrow. Now, unless Reverend Joanne knows something that I don't, it's highly unlikely that tomorrow's eclipse will lead to some monumental change in history. Probably, but we might not know that for another 20 years, because the next one's not for 20 more years. So It took 5 years for that culmination of that eclipse back in 1806. So we'll see. I've been informed this morning, and I didn't realize this, that there are quite a number of people who think that the Earth ends tomorrow too. So there is that to consider. But whatever you think about tomorrow's eclipse, it does provide a good opportunity to take stock, to do a reset of where we are on our spiritual journey. And maybe even more interesting is, how do you know that you're on that right spiritual path? How do you know? So as we go into this eclipse time tomorrow, it got me thinking about my own spiritual path. And since I'm up here, I'll just go first on doing this whole reconsideration. So it was easy for me, say 4 or 5 years ago when I was at the Columbus Center for Spiritual Living, it was easy for me to think, well, I'm definitely on the right spiritual path. I'm checking all these boxes. Going to ministerial school, I'm doing the meditations, I'm writing all these, I've got to be checking all the right boxes. I've got to be on that right spiritual path. And after I'd left the center, after a bit of a hiatus, I kind of got to thinking that, well, there's something I missed from being back there at the center. And yet, I didn't feel like it was, there was a need to go back and check a bunch of boxes again. There was something just didn't feel right about that. And I was going to use that theme for today's talk, but I just couldn't put the words around, which is kind of a challenge when you're trying to put together a talk on something you can't put words around. But you know, as sometimes things happen just when you're kind of stuck and something appears that maybe is spirit-driven, maybe you're just being more cognizant of it. I'll call it spirit-driven, because Mary, sitting up here, she, just as I was kind of trying to put some thoughts together, she ran across this talk on YouTube by Michael Singer. 30-minute talk. And I like Singer because he gives a practical application to a lot of spiritual concepts. She said, you've got to listen to this 30-minute talk. It's called Nothing is Needed. Nothing is needed. So I pulled it up, and it was like Singer was speaking directly to what was going through my mind. Because he said, you can try to get on that spiritual path by going through and checking a lot of boxes. I don't think he used actually the term checking a lot of boxes, but I like that term, checking the boxes. And he said you can do that, but one, it may or may not work. And two, if you're going to actively search for checking enough boxes, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Now, in Singer's idea, and I like this, our spiritual path is always there. We are surrounded by our spirituality, our spiritual path. We don't have to go in search of it. It's always there. It's always there. And so you can choose, everything's a choice, you can choose to make it a lot of work by trying to come up with that list and checking all the boxes, or you can choose to make it no work at all. A lot of work, no work at all, and experience that spirituality from that aspect. Kind of like that. Singer goes on to give 3 illustrations, as you do when you come up with a different kind of concept. And so I'll share those 3 illustrations this morning. First illustration he gave is the concept of the wave. All right, you're going to the beach. Going on the West Coast or East Coast, or probably not Lake Erie. But you go to the West Coast, maybe Hawaii, and you're on the beach, and you're scanning out over the waves. You're seeing the surfers out there. The good ones are the ones that actually ride with the wave versus fighting the wave. And you're there. You're enjoying the process of the power of the waves. But the minute you get up off your chair there and you wade out into the wave, maybe with your bucket, you're going to try and dissect that wave. And you're going to try and see what makes up the power of the wave. The minute you try to do that, you can't do it. You can't take that wave apart. You can't take enough buckets out there and take the buckets and go back to the laboratory and look at it. You can't dissect the wave. So I like that illustration. That makes a lot of sense. I like his second one better, though, because I've never heard it said this way. So let's all go out back here after service, and let's get our lawn chairs out, much like you're going to do, a lot of you are going to do tomorrow with the solar eclipse. We'll take the chairs out back, and while we're waiting for the eclipse to happen, we're staring out over the field there. We're just enjoying being out in the field. We're staring out. We're enjoying being one with nature, one with the universe, however you want to phrase it up. And then Reverend Joanne, and I know you're watching because you said you were. Reverend Joanne comes out and she says, I want you all to find 3 deer out in the field. It changes everything. It changes everything. Suddenly, with just that one sentence, you've gone from enjoying and being one with the field, one with the enjoyment of your path out there, to making it a competition. Now, because of one sentence, you've now tried to check the boxes. I got to find 3 deer out there. I've got to get that done before I can enjoy it again. It changes everything when you try to check the boxes. So the third illustration, this is where the title of the talk came from. It's not bad weather, it's just bad clothes. Now, despite my prayer supplication this morning in the opening prayer, and despite even a request for every one of us to pray for a clear day tomorrow, it may not happen. I know I'm pretty good, but I may not be that good. But we may wake up in the morning and it might be cloudy and it might be rainy. And we may be tempted to say, damn it, it's bad weather. It's bad weather. But it's not bad weather. The weather is neither good nor bad. And it's not like God. It's not like God planned overnight to send a bunch of clouds and rain to the people of Central Ohio to punish them for something they've done. God doesn't work like that. God does not work like that. Weather is just weather. It's neither good nor bad. It's we who can choose what to do with that. We who can choose whether to put the raincoat on or to enjoy the eclipse in the midst of being cloudy. It's still up there. It's our choice on how we react to each one of these things. So, you see a field, you see a wave, you experience the weather. There's no effort in it. It's our choice to do it that way. And perhaps I never thought of it this way. In the New Testament, Jesus says, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Is that his concept of being one with this entire spiritual process? It's not, it can be a lot of work, or it can be no work at all. So, I like to, there's always practical stuff to take home. So that when you're watching the women's basketball game this afternoon, or you're taking a walk, or whatever, you might think, oh, that guy up front this morning, he had a couple of interesting things I remember. So, take homes for Route 23. You know, Mary's son is a leap year baby. He was born on February 29th. So this year, biologically, he was 40 years old. But Mary sees him as a 10-year-old. So she bought a book. She bought a book called Advice for a 10-Year-old. Advice for a 10-year-old. And we're thumbing through it, and oh, these are pretty good. These are pretty good. This is advice not just for a 10-year-old, but 10 times 10-year-old. So there's this section in the book called How long should you stay upset? How long should you stay upset? Now there's a big old diagram on various things, so I'm going to share some of these. These are really pretty good. At least I think so. You can stay upset 0 minutes, or that is, you can't get upset at all. 1, if your best friend won an award that you wanted. 2, you wanted waffles and you got eggs. 3, it's cloudy on the morning of the eclipse. Not allowed to be upset. And 4, you broke your leg, but you broke it while doing something brave. All right. Now, you get a dispensation 5 to maybe 10 minutes if you dropped your ice cream cone. Yeah, you could all laugh. Everybody's got your ice cream cone, right? You think everybody's got an ice cream cone. Your little sister beat you at Scrabble. Or you failed a test. Failed your own test. Doesn't have to be that math test in grade school. But if you stay upset for longer than 5 to 10 minutes, you've lost time on resetting and preparing for that next test. That next test is always going to come. So, real special dispensation, half a day. If you get a hideous haircut. half a day if you break your leg while doing something stupid. And there are reasons things are called accidents, but even with that, you only get a half a day to be upset. Now you might get a full day, special things, full day. Maybe this is what's going to happen tomorrow. Is if there's a zombie apocalypse and the zombies are invading your town. You do get a full day to be upset about that. But that's it. That's it. No more than a full day, no matter what. No matter what. It can be hard or it can be easy. So, myself included, maybe myself a lot, it's just so tempting to just chain smoke opinions throughout the entire day. One opinion after another, whether it's the weather, whether it's my ice cream cone, one opinion after another. It's so tempting to do that. But the easy way is to let those opinions go and just be with the process. So, the wisdom here, whether you're 10, or whether you're 10 times 10, every one of these things, they just happen. Your ice cream cone's going to drop. It's going to drop again. The eclipse is just going to happen. The weather is just going to happen. Just like our life. It's just going to happen. And it's our choice whether it can be easy and accept that this is our spiritual path no matter what, or we can make it hard and we can try to check all those boxes and to make sure that we're on that right spiritual path. I kind of like the easy approach. God's always there. God's with us. Let's accept that. So I'll take that into prayer. Great Spirit, I recognize your power, energy in everyone that's here this morning. I recognize the power and energy in the movement of the planets, in all the symbolic nature of the total eclipse tomorrow. I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that. And I also claim for everyone here, everyone online, the wisdom in accepting, knowing that when the ice cream drops, and it will, that I offer no judgment, no opinions on when that ice cream drops. And I know that that's all part of my spiritual journey, our spiritual journey, no matter what. So I'm grateful for all of this life, all of this spiritual journey, even in the most trying circumstances. It's still part of my spiritual journey, part of our spiritual journey. So I offer these words up into the universe, knowing that it is already done. And so it is.
Not going to feel bad about that. Zero tolerance for feeling bad about the strap not being exactly where I want it to be. I played this tune last week at Center for Spiritual Living in Cape Coral, Florida, where we spent the winter. And I want to know where the palm trees are. That's what I want to know. There aren't any out there. But I played this song several years ago there first, and then the music director had me play it for the next 6 weeks in a row, actually. So I got tired of it. Everybody else loved it, but I got tired of it. Anyway, it's one of my favorite songs. I'll just go ahead and play it and stop explaining it. Doesn't matter where they come from. Doesn't matter what their name. Doesn't matter what they look like, or if they've been unjustly named. Doesn't matter how they're different. Doesn't matter how they pray. The only thing that really matters is that you love them anyway. Love them anyway, each and every day. No matter what they say, love them anyway. Love them anyway, each and every day. No matter what they say, love them anyway. Love them anyway that you can and you'll discover. Love them anyway that you can, you'll find it's true. There is something deep within that you'll uncover. And that thing within is always loving you. Doesn't matter how they're different. Doesn't matter how they pray. The only thing that really matters is that you love them anyway. Doesn't matter if they're many, or if they're standing all alone. Doesn't matter their advancement, or if their tools are made of stone. It doesn't matter if they're richer. It doesn't matter if they're not. Doesn't matter if their homeland is freezing cold or blazing hot. Love them anyway, each and every day. No matter what they say, love them anyway. The only thing that really matters is that you love him anyway. The only thing that really matters is that you love him anyway.
Well, now's the time we want to send our thank yous all around. Reverend Horton, please, thank you for that message today. It was one of those that where I felt you were talking to me. And many thanks to Ralph Leesburg for the wonderful music and his original tunes. When we are grateful to our audio-visual tech, who keeps everything running smoothly here online, Michael. Thanks, Michael. And of course, we want to thank the kind folks who are providing the refreshments after the service. And Linda Hill is, and Barbie are our hosts for today. Thank you so much. And finally, we want to send a warm thank you to all of you for your tithes and donations, whether by PayPal, check, or the donate button on our church website, or in the offering baskets at the rear of the sanctuary. We are grateful for your support. So just a recap of the announcements. The solar eclipse tomorrow, April 8th, begins at 1:50, partial begins at 1:55, and the total eclipse will occur at 3:11 for about 2.5 minutes. The church will be open, and be sure to have your eclipse viewing glasses with you so you won't injure your eyes, and bring a lawn chair, and pray for clear skies. But weather is weather. So we will just accept what is. And we don't necessarily have to be happy about it. Hey, there's a time limit. The Unity Women's Lunch Group will meet this Tuesday, April 9th at 12:30 p.m. at Scramblers on Route 23 in Lewis Center. And finally, there's an information and sign-up sheet on the back table for the Horse-Centered Meditation and Prayer Circle at the Circle P Sanctuary, May 18th. Or you can email the church for more information at UnityDelawareOhio@gmail.com. And finally, don't forget we have a weekly yoga class here at the church led by our yogi, Tamara Leeper. She's here today if you have any questions about it. It's always healing and relaxing, and it's on a donation basis. It's every Thursday at 1 p.m. in our fellowship area. And any other announcements that we need to know about? I think that's it, but today's the first Sunday of the month, and so it's special day. And if you have a special day in the month of April, birthday, anniversary, or whatever you are celebrating, just come on up and we'll wish you a happy special day.
I won't be by myself.
Come on, Mary. Birthday?
Birthday.
Oh, yes, I should have known that. He's my nephew.
It's okay.
What day?
17.
Okay.
Is it?
Oh, our daughter is the 27th.
Okay.
I'm standing in for her.
Oh, okay. All right. Take it
Happy
away.
special
Day to you. Happy special day to you. Happy special day, you're wonderful. Happy special day to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you, you're wonderful. circle. And everybody can come on around for our circle.
Happy birthday, Ronnie. Thank you.
Get over there.
Everybody's ready. We circle? Here we go!